Twist of Fate Thursday the 10th of March 2022 full update. Make sure you subscribe and click on the notification bell to get notified for more updates. Without wasting your time, let's start our today update. Ahbi tells Ranbir and Prachi that his wife has sold him to his ex-wife. Prachi and Ranbir are shocked. He says both of them don't love me. He says Tanu doesn't me and to whom she has sold me, even she doesn't love me. He says there was a time when everyone used to love me, but now nobody loves me, they don't want me or my happiness. He says she just wants to take revenge from me when I am nothing, unwanted. He says unwanted is sold. Prachi says don't say this. Ahbi says nobody cares for me, neither Prachi, nor Ria. Tanu never loved me. He says even pragya doesn't love me. He faints. Prachi tells Ranbir that they shall take him to doctor. Someone knocks on the door. Alia opens the door and sees Sushma. Alia recalls Tanu's words that Sushma will convince Pragya. Sushma says not Pragya, but I have come to talk to Tanu. She says maybe. Tanu says please. Sushma gets inside the house. Ranbir and Prachi take Ahbi to the hospital. Doctor checks him. Prachi asks doctor if her papa is fine. Doctor says he is not fine and says it is good that you brought him on time. He tells something which is muted. Prachi looks at him through the window pane and gets emotional, recalling his words. Tanu asks what did you want to talk to me? Sushma says you knows well that if you talked about selling your husband then someone will buy him. Tanu asks if Pragya sent you to talk to me. Sushma says Pragya haven't agreed and says your deal is good, but your thought is bad. She says you felt that you will talk about selling your husband and she will agree. Tanu says then why you are here? Sushma says my thinking is different. Pragya wants to fight the case and win, but I don't want her to get hurt. She says she doesn't want to take shortcut and I don't want to take a long route. She says Pragya will not buy your husband, but I came to tell you that Pragya will buy Ahbi from you. She says I will talk to Pragya and make her understand. Tanu says don't you think that you should have talked to her? Sushma says I came to talk to you first as I didn't want to hurt Pragya, which means both of you. She says I want to clear that Pragya will buy your husband as a contract husband. She says Ahbi and Pragya will do contract marriage for 6 months and says if you agree for this and if your demand agrees to our offer, then we are ready. She says Pragya will buy your husband in exchange of money. Tanu says Pragya wants my husband and I want money. She says she wants to get out from this dirty place. Sushma says dirtiness is not here, but it is in your thoughts. Tanu says you came to shake hands with me even though knowing about it. Sushma says she knows how to keep her hands clean while doing dirty work. She says if you agree to my condition, then get papers ready. I will convince Pragya. You will give your husband and Pragya will give you money. Alia says I won't let this happen and says he is my brother. Tanu says I am his wife and can do anything with him, being his ardhanjini. She says you don't have any rights other than tying Rakhi to him. Sushma says when both the buyer and seller are ready then what is your objection, tells that if Ahbi doesn't want to be sold then it is his choice. Alia says how can you convince Pragya to buy Ahbi being a mother? Sushma says when a mother can sell her everything, then why can't buy someone? She tells Tanu that next time she don't want this melodrama. Pragya thinks she shall do something, Gaurav is taking her advantage and tried to ruin her image. Just then she hears doorbell. She thinks Tanu might have come and thinks to tell her that her marriage can break, but can fall in anyone's eyes. She opens the door and finds Prachi at the doorstep. She looks at Prachi and gets emotional. Prachi also gets emotional. They recall their moments. Pragya looks at Sindoor in her hairline and gets more emotional. She kisses her cheeks and hugs her. They cry. Song plays. Pragya says I can't believe that you are in front of me and says you are looking nice. Prachi says even you are looking nice and different. Pragya says you are looking good in Sindoor, Mangal Sutra and bangles and takes her inside. She asks how is she? Prachi tells that she searched her. Pragya tells that she had hired private investigator to know about her, but he told that they don't stay with Kolas. Prachi says previously they used to stay in Greater Kailash and now is staying with the Kolas. She says the landlady told me that some investigator was asking about me and told your name. She says that's how I reached here. Prachi says she wants to meet Ria. Prachi says Ria is fine, and says she will make her meet her. She says when she was coming here, she saw Papa. She says he is not well and asks Pragya to call him here. Pragya is shocked and asks if you are asking me to buy him. Prachi says whatever you think, but bring him here. Pragya goes from there. Sushma comes there. Prachi says I am her daughter. Sushma calls her prachi and says you are just like Pragya. She blesses her and tells that she was the one who has taken care of Pragya since she found her. Prachi says she wants to talk to Ma and goes behind her. Pragya tells Prachi that her thought have become like the Tanu. Prachi says I am not insulting your and Papa's relation. Pragya says whatever happened 2 years back, we have separated and can never unite. She says this time due to the reason they can't unite. Prachi says we shall forget that, but think of the time when you both used to love each other and your relation was strong. Pragya recalls beating Suresh and taking stand for her always. Prachi asks her to think about her Papa, when he is so unwell. She says she found Papa on the road, he was drunk and had fainted. She says we had taken him to doctor and the doctor is the same where his treatment is going on. She says doctor told that his liver is damaged and his life is in danger, if his don't leave drink. Pragya says shut up, don't talk about his death. Prachi asks then why are you leaving him alone? Pragya says they are his family. Prachi says they are not his family else his condition wouldn't have been like this. She says Papa needs love, care which you can give. She says doctor showed the reports to Papa. Papa told that his heart stopped beating since his fuggy left and what to do with his heart, liver etc. Doctor asked him to have medicines, but Papa said everything is waste without his fuggy. Pragya gets emotional. Prachi telling Pragya that when doctor told Papa about this, Papa said that his heart stopped beating since his fuggy left and what will he do with his heart and other organs. He says when doctor asked him to have medicine. Papa refuses saying if fuggy can't make him take medicine, then the medicine will not affect as everything is waste without fuggy. She says he wants fuggy and fuggy is here. She says if anyone can make him fine then it's you. She says you are his fuggy, when we were going to clinic, he was telling that he was abandoned by his family, was sold out, etc. She asks if Papa doesn't have the right to lead a normal life, and says your destinies are connected, you both were married. She says he is father of your children and asks him to save her. She says if you can forgive yourself if something happens to him, you will blame yourself for not being able to save him. She says he went in depression after he lost you and his daughters. She asks her to save him as she is his fuggy in love. She asks if she doesn't care for him and leaving for him to die. Pragya raises her hand to slap her, but stops. She says don't talk about his death again. She hugs her and cries. Pragya says I am angry on him. Prachi asks her to take out her anger on her, but call my Papa here. Pragya cries and says I will bring him here. She hugs her. Sushma comes and smiles. Pragya apologizes for getting angry on her and asks about Ranbir. Prachi says Ranbir went to drop Papa home. Sushma asks Prachi to stay here tonight. Pragya asks if Ranbir is waiting for her, and asks her to be with him always. Pragya asks for her number. Ranbir calls Prachi. Pragya says she will pull his ears and will ask him to take care of her always. Prachi thanks Sushma for taking care of her ma. Sushma asks her to call her baddie ma. Ranbir says he is outside. Prachi comes out and hugs him. She says Ma was looking good and tells that they have a talk. She says Ma was asking about you and wanted to pull your ears. Ranbir says let's go inside. Prachi says not now, Ma is tired. She says Ma agreed to bring him here. Ranbir says since he came to know about Tanu wanting to sell him, he really felt bad. He says he went to dropped him, and felt bad seeing negative people like Tanu and Alia. She asks him not to tell anything at home. Ranbir says your family is mine. Tanu sees a dream that Alia, Mitali and Daddy are stealing money from under her bed. Daddy comes there and asks why is she shouting. Tanu says my dream will be fulfilled and I will get money. Daddy asks her to go and fetch water. Tanu refuses. Daddy goes to fetch water. Ahbi wakes up. Mitali sees him waking up and comes out to call Alia. Alia goes inside and scolds him, tells him that Ranbir came to drop him and was behaving as if he only cares for you. She asks how did you get hurt? He says he was drunk. Tanu comes there and asks him to get ready to be sold. Ahbi asks what? Alia says I am talking on his behalf. Tanu asks her not to interfere. Ahbi says you both can fight, I will go out. Tanu says I am sorry, let me explain what I am thinking and asks Mitali and Alia to go. Mitali says I will just hear. Alia takes Mitali from her. Tanu says my words might be bad to hear, but the result will be good. He says you are a bad person. Tanu says okay I am bad and tells that people call her greedy, but she is still with him even when he is poor. She says Pragya has ruined you and your company, and Pragya and her mother are responsible for your condition. She says she got the company closed which was on Daddy's name. She says I have not taken revenge from you. She says, I am not taking revenge from you, but bringing you between Pragya and me. You have separated you from Ria. Ahbi gets instigated by her words. Tanu continues to provoke him against Pragya. Ahbi shouts, asking her to stop. He goes to room. She says, wherever you go, truth will not leave you. She asks him to see Daddy and says, today Daddy went to fetch water as I was unwell. She says, I am doing this for our family's betterment, and says you are thinking about your self-respect, but Pragya agreed to buy you and thought about her advantage. She says, I am not greedy like her and will bring the money in this house. She asks him to think from calm mind and asks him to take revenge from Pragya by staying in her house and cut her roots. Ahbi recalls Pragya telling that her life mission is changed and he is nothing less than a stranger. She says, I want money to ruin Pragya financially. She asks Ahbi to weaken her and destroy her. She says until when she comes to know that she is destroyed fully, she will be shattered. She asks him to reply to Pragya in her style and says this marriage is just contract marriage for 6 months. Thanks for watching till the end. Make sure you subscribe and click on the notification bell to get notified for more updates. Like, comment and share.
To change your